Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It is episode 118 and today you will be happy to know that we are not, I repeat, we are not going to be working on the villagers. We have been doing a lot of this recently and I don't get me wrong, I've been loving it, okay? That's why I've been doing lots of it. This is what I've been thinking about in the evenings. I've been coming up with concepts and running over to my computer to work on them. It's taken over my mind. And I feel like we need to take a slight break from it and move on to something that we actually haven't touched in a long time. And that, of course, is Sahara. Beautiful, ridiculous, complicated Sahara, complete still with creeper hole in the wall. I'm so surprised that no one has come along and fixed that yet. I think that is now a permanent feature of Sahara. I personally am going to refer to it as ventilation to keep the warehouse cool. Yeah, that seems like a good reason to have it. But one person who hasn't been leaving this place alone and has constantly been making upgrades is Iskal. Iskal has been really hard at work and he has added in the Sahara Now system, which I believe is a faster delivery system from the warehouse. I'm not entirely certain how it works. Could you guys let me know down in the comment section? That would be great, thanks. Because otherwise, of course, I'll have to go back and watch one of his videos and, well, I mean, let's be honest, nobody wants to do that. I'm joking, of course. Iskal is a friend of mine. His videos are great. You should all go and watch them. But actually, that reminds me, I need to go and get my mustache. I believe it is somewhere up here, probably on the front of this thing. Oh my word. I don't turn up to one meeting and they do this. What has happened to my hair? They have given me a serious barnet. Hang on, has someone just shopped at Sahara? I think someone just shopped at Sahara. Sorry, I was distracted by sheer profits. Right, let's grab this off his face and I guess we just dispense that on. Ah, thank goodness, that is so much better than it was before. Anyway, my plan for today's Hermitcraft episode, or at least the start of today's Hermitcraft episode, is to do a full automatic restocking system for the Sahara warehouse. Now that I've thought about it, that's actually quite a big project. This place is huge. Well, I guess it's probably smart to just start on the easiest thing, which is placing in all of the hoppers on top of all of the chests. How many modules are there? I can't remember. Not actually that many. We ended up using, I think it's about 45, maybe 50 modules in total. So we ended up using about 100 hoppers. Nothing too serious considering how many hoppers are actually already in the system. And already this looks really cool. I'm just trying to work out what sort of coloured concrete I want to use for it. Do we go yellow and orange again, or do we add a completely new colour? I've just A-okayed it with green. I suggested light blue concrete. I think that will contrast really nicely with the yellow and orange that we already have. I mean, it's like the opposite end of the colour chart. Oh my word, why does that freak me out? So it's just a skeleton. Calm down, dude. Jeez. I took both hands off the keyboard and the mouse. That was a total shutdown of all of my, panic response systems. Alright, let's do this. This is nice and relaxing. So, now that we've gathered all of that up, it's time to actually start placing in the blocks. Now, what I thought I'd do is I thought I'd do this in a very kind of stagey fashion. In that now, I'm literally going to place in all of the blue concrete and then I'm going to place in all the redstone components. But it's probably a good idea that I actually look to see how it looks before I place in all the redstone components, because if it looks awful, then I'll have to replace everything. Well, that looks nuts. That looks so cool. You can actually see a lot more of the old circuitry than I was expecting, which is amazing. I didn't want this to hide anything away, so that's fantastic. How does it look out the front? Also, super ridiculously cool. Okay, big fan of this. This is going to sound crazy, but hear me out on this one. I would much rather pay 1 emerald for 1 piece of quartz instead of paying 1 emerald for 1 block of quartz. I want to be able to make loads of comparators. And observers. I mean, observers need quartz as well. It drives me up the wall. Oh, I should mention that all of the blocks are in place. That didn't take that long at all. Right, redstone now. And that also didn't take that long. And it looks nuts. It looks totally nuts. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. That could be my desktop background. I mean, the Sahara warehouse is a beautiful thing as is. But this extra layer, this kind of dash of blue going through it, Man, that's so cool. Okay, next up, we need to add... Well, we need to add the ice paths, okay? Because it turns out that actually, ice is useful. I'll finally admit it. Ice, everybody likes ice. I felt like that had gone on for long enough. You know, that was a very passing comment in a live stream, just to wind up his scale, because I knew how long he'd spent on his ice farm. And I knew that it would frustrate him if I said that. And it caught on, and I should have admitted it sooner. Ice is the best. Ice is one of the best blogs in the game. It's fantastic. I use it in almost every single episode of Hermitcraft, which kind of was part of the joke. Anyway, speaking of the ice, it is all in place, looking even cooler than before. Look at this! It looks nuts. Right, glass now. Oh, and you may notice that the way that we've done the water streams is kind of on the opposite side to where you would expect the water streams to be. So you can see, for anyone who's built these before, normally the hoppers and things are on the outside of the turn, because then obviously the items crash up against something like a chest here, and then they travel along this edge. But I was watching a video by Ilmango the other day, and he showed off that if you have a double sea pickle, the items will actually hit it, but still be aligned along this inside edge, which means that they'll run along like this and will actually make their way into the hoppers. Now, the reason that we're not running the water streams over the top of the hoppers is because occasionally, very occasionally, the item can actually get stuck in the hoppers. You know, there's like a slight dip, like this. The item can actually fall in there, which obviously these are item filters. So if that's an item, for example, this is a diamond item filter and a piece of glass falls in there, it will get stuck. What is that? 16... Wait, have I used I've used Sahara stock counters for my hoppers. I'm gonna be totally honest, okay? I found them in these chests down here. I think it was this chest right there, which I assumed most of the items in that chest, and all the shulker boxes that are at the front were mine that I brought in. So I must have picked those up by accident. I hope they weren't actually keeping stock, because otherwise I might have broken something. I have a very vague memory that this shop kills you, but I don't know if I'm correct. Either way, it seems to be very, very out of stock. There seems to be absolutely nothing in here, unless it's up at the top. I mean, it doesn't look like it, does it? Where do you even get sea pickles from? I don't think I've ever placed a sea pickle. I definitely haven't placed a sea pickle before. Apparently they generate in warm oceans and lukewarm oceans only. Okay, it looks like we're gonna have to go on a bit of a journey then. To Grian's base. To steal some. We're gonna steal some of Grian's sea pickles. So let's see if this works out then. So we need to do this, and then a little bit of this. Waterlog our sea pickles. And that should align the items up against that edge there. So if we throw them in... Well, that looked pretty good to me. All of these hoppers need to be redirected. All of them. What a time to be alive. Now that that's done, if we just place in this sea pickle here and waterlog that, that is the final sea pickle, and that is the entire system all done and dusted, bar actually placing the items into all of the item sorters. Which, I'll be totally honest, is a job that I do not fancy doing right now. That is always the least exciting thing on planet Earth. So I'm going to leave that be, and we're going to work on something slightly more interesting briefly. But before we do, I thought I'd pop up here once again just to take a real good look at this thing, because this... I mean, it's always been one of my favourite redstone projects I've ever done on the Hermitcraft server, and now with this extra circuitry, this blue stuff, oh, it looks even more nuts. It's taken the nuts factor up to 12, whereas before it was 11. It is genuinely going to be so much fun restocking that thing and watching all of the items making their way into the modules, and then when people order stuff, watching the minecarts come out. Sahara's cool. Sahara is cool. It may be slow, it may be slightly impractical, and it may be filled with bugs, but it's very, very cool. What am I looking for? A diamond block. Yes, I need a diamond block. Some of you may know why. Is Fedora still alive? How has Fedora managed to survive for so long? How are you still here? I'm so neglectful. Like, I have not fed you for months and months, okay? And Fedora is still alive. For goodness sake, I feel like there's some funny business going on here. Surely she has to die. You know, there has been some rumours. I heard through the grapevine, aka through the YouTube comment section, that Iskall has done some fiddling with the redstone so that Fedora never dies. And I have to buy all the ice. So how much is that? So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be 8 diamond blocks I would have had to give for Fedora. And I would have got, what, 160 stacks of ice back? I mean, I know I've admitted that I like ice now in this video, but still 160 stacks of ice. I don't know if I quite need that. I wonder if I'm able to feed Fedora in bulk. Like, I just leave all the remaining diamond blocks in the chest just ready for her to eat, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Iskall's laboratory is looking pretty cool, isn't it? The vault door. The vault door is being done. I think it was a couple of months ago, Iskall asked me to build a vault door for Sahara. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And then I never quite got around to doing it. Okay, and you know, I feel bad about that. But I have now designed a brand new type of vault door that you can see over my left. Yeah, that's my left shoulder. That new vault door is the one that we're going to be installing. Now, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is taken from my 10 favorite redstone entrances video. I essentially went back through the history of my YouTube channel, picked up some of my most famous piston doors, and I redesigned them with 2019 redstone. This is one of the doors that got the treatment, and as you can see, it is tiny. It is as small as it possibly can be, and it is ridiculously fast as well. I am very, very pleased with this thing. It took me many, many hours. It involves all sorts of weird redstone. A lot of it doesn't make too much sense, but somehow it all manages to function, and it looks fantastic. Now, I'll be honest, I cannot remember for the life of me where he actually wanted me to build it. I think this could be it. I think he wants it here. Here. I'm just going to build it here, and then if it's wrong, I just tell Iskall that he's wrong and I'm right, and he actually wanted the vault door here. That's the right strategy. Obviously, as this is a Sahara build, it needs to be built out of nice blocks, and white concrete is definitely a nice type of block. Oh, I forgot to turn on the TNT. Hopefully that hasn't broken anything. Right, so I've laid out all the pistons, so now it's time to start building up all of the redstone. And as I say, this is a bit of a weird one. We need hoppers that are going to be sending through signals. We need tons of observers, because this is basically purely observers, and maybe a handful of repeaters. This is actually a really, really simple design. It's alarmingly simple. Look, all I have to do now is I place the redstone across the top like this. That's that. Redstone in both of these locations. So there's a piece of redstone dust there and there. That fires those pistons. We've got redstone dust over the top of these. And then I think it's a repeater set to 1 tick, 4 ticks, 4 ticks, and then 1 tick, 4 ticks, 4 ticks. That's it. That's all the redstone wiring. Bar like an observer and a hopper down at the bottom. 2019 redstone is weird. It's very weird. With that being said, it's yet to be confirmed that it is actually working. Now, I just need to find... Oh, come on. There has to be a lever here somewhere. I don't have any cobblestone on me, and I've only got a silk touch pickaxe. Don't tell me I have to go all the way back to my base to get a lever. Okay, let's do this. Oh, I don't know about you, but that looked pretty good, didn't it? Bro. That might be the first time ever that a door has worked. First time. So close. Something hasn't quite functioned with these pistons off to one side firing. Oh, what's happened there? They're working on that side. Why would they not work on this side? You know, the fact that I haven't actually connected up any redstone to them could have something to do with it. So this vault door is now all completed. I was reading through some of the tweets that you guys were sending me, because I did just tweet out on Twitter, where does Iskall want this vault door to be built, because I've forgotten. And a few people were saying that he wants one on both sides, but there's not enough height. But I think he wants some kind of airlock, so maybe we build... I don't know, this doesn't lend itself to actually having any form of piston door here. Anyway, back over to the warehouse, or kind of not, to be honest with you. We need to set up these item filters so that they can actually start accepting items. This is something that I've been putting off. I don't know if you can tell. It's not the most exciting thing in the world, but it has to be done. I mean, we have to put all the items into the item filters, don't we? Now, this, of course, is the easy bits. This is just me walking through, placing in all the placeholder items inside the item filters. It's this first slot that is the important one, because this is what's going to select what items actually end up in the storage chests. Now, I'm wondering if I can just go through and pinch some of the items from the storage chests, or if I have to go out and gather up all the different items that we sell. I think this may need to be something that me and Iskal do together, because I'm not sure what ones are what and what goes where. Iskal's kind of been managing that part. And actually, on the topic of things that Iskal's been managing, he has sent me a Discord message explaining how the whole Sahara Now system works. So because I somewhat missed the meeting, I'm going to give this thing a go because it sounds super interesting. By the way, I didn't miss the meeting out of negligence. It was just because my driveway was being done and it's really loud. All they would have been able to hear if I was in the meeting is just construction noise. It would have been awful. Anyway, okay. Oh! I mean, look, okay, he's explained to me how to do it. Is it something like that? And then, okay, give me a second. Yep, seems like I was on the right track. So if I hit the white button, okay, we get our first offer. If I hit the white button, I go, you know what, I don't want that. We get our next offer. If I hit the white button, we get our next offer. This is pretty cool. I'm a fan. Okay, so I need to buy this because I took some sea lanterns from it. But B, I want some sea lanterns. If I hit this green button here, there we go. I end up with the item. This is actually quite cool. This is quite smart. I'm a fan. And I should say that the player doesn't have to load up the system like I did. That's just because the shulker boxes were outside the system to start with. So that is the new super fast section of Sahara that is going to be doing special bundle deals for Sahara Now members. So check it out if you're interested. Anyway, the big thing that I need to do now is gather up as much sugarcane as possible because, well, yeah, I need it for villager trading, and I've just remembered I need to protect myself from being tatered. 9 hours later, we are now back on the Hermitcraft server. I have not been potatoed, which is always a positive sign. Filling up the inventory with blocks has definitely helped out with that, and as per usual, I break the wrong block. This machine is always so satisfying to watch, isn't it? I am thinking though, I mean, this, in the grand scheme of things, is actually quite a small sugarcane farm. Because obviously it was built on my base. Imagine how crazy the one we could build in the industrial district could be. I mean, it depends how much sugarcane we need. Is that being taken into account with the villager trading contest? Let me know, Iskal. Anyway, if we make our way up into the little storage system that we have up here. God, my controls are... I've literally just woken up and I am struggling to play and struggling to talk. Right, so we've got that. Yeah, I feel like we need a much bigger farm because we only got this much overnight. Now that is a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot. Oh no, hang on. Oh, I used up almost all my sugarcane, didn't I? Because we used it for paper. Yeah, it's doing okay, but I still feel like we need tons more. So I guess that can be a project for a future Hermitcraft episode. One that I'm definitely very, very excited for. Anyway, I really do hope that you enjoyed this episode. And, yeah, I forgot what my outro is. See ya. It's a thing that you'll hear a lot of YouTubers talking about. The recording videos early in the morning. It's hilarious. I would say your average YouTuber needs about 1.5 hours after they wake up to when they start recording. Otherwise, it just does not work.